What's going on, folks? It's Zach here with another video. Today is January 22nd, 2025. It was a magnificent leg day today, guys. I mean, super duper good. High bar back squat was locked in. Straight leg deadlifts as usual. Fantastic, but also put a little spin on it. Not too much of a spin, but we'll talk about it later. But it's feeling a lot better with those. Reverse Nordics. I mean, those we also figured out a little tweak that I made today that made a huge difference in those. And then calf raises, I also found something new for those. So, man, really great day today, guys. I'm hoping that all of you out there are also having a fantastic day today. So let us go ahead and get a little weight change here. Put the 45s on. That way we can get into our second warm-up set. Gonna go ahead and squat. This load is 135 pounds. So, high bar back squat. Actually, I always try to get ahead of myself, don't I? Let us talk about how we're feeling after the pull day on the 20th. And I gotta say, folks, nothing really. I think my lats, there's a certain portion of my lats that's kind of like I've mentioned before with my hamstrings, just always sore. But other than that, not really sore from the pull day, which we'll talk about when we get a little closer to it. It's going to be pretty intense because we're going to lock in and add some more volume, but let's get a weight change real quick. Well, everyone, I must admit, I've been rather dastardly there. When we changed that weight, it would look like I put on a 5, but in reality, I put on a 2.5. I just didn't, I failed to record a clip of it, so it's not on there, but we are working with 45, 10, 2.5. That means the weight is 160 pounds on the bar. So that's what we're using here for our working sets on a high bar back squat. So yeah, just to wrap up what we were talking about with pull day, we're adding volume, adding another set of incline curls, and another set of flexion rows. So we're up in the volumes, getting a little more intense. My food is up. I've been eating still in a surplus of 150, and then there's been a few days here and there over the past couple weeks that I've had in excess of that, anywhere from 300 to 1,000 calories. So I'm eating pretty big out here at the tail end of this massing that I'm doing, just because, I want to get as much growth and stimulus as I can, not going super crazy out of control. I don't want to, blow up too much, gain a bunch of fat, but definitely trying to pack it in. So back to high bar back squat. Here we are, first working set. I actually went real hard. Like I said, it was feeling good after making this adjustment with the chalk and being able to keep everything straight on. I guess what it really is the feeling of being able to push the bar up, or I guess like push the weight up from the bottom of the squat on your entire foot, when it feels like you're using the entirety of your foot, like the bar is centered over your body's, I guess, makeup, whatever that stance looks like for your anatomy. Man, it just feels so good being locked in like that. And you can see it looks pretty stable here. I am going a little quick on the eccentrics. Let's see, do I slow it down? I tend to slow it down towards the end of the set, because a lot of times I'll start going through reps and I'll realize at like rep 3 or 4, I'll be like, okay, slow it down, bro. You're rushing through the set. It's just, I mean, any of you guys out there who do back squats or squats of any kind, really, where you've got load on your spine and then you're squatting down with it and standing up. I mean, I've mentioned before how you feel like a tube of toothpaste. You're just getting squeezed. So, it's a natural inclination for my body to be like, all right, hurry up, go, 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 go. Let's get these reps done, because it's uncomfortable. But that's why I try to remember those cues. And especially, when you're by yourself, you've got to provide those cues for yourself, because you don't have someone there looking out for you. So this is the last working set. Yeah, let's look at this form here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, pause. Nice. Yeah, these are looking good. And like I said, they felt good. And performance was actually better than the last microcycle. I got, first set, we got 12 reps, then 9 on the second, and 7 for that third set. So really good performance here on high bar back squat. Very happy with that. Alright, so we're slapping on the little 10 plate there, and we are showing major booty, you know what I'm saying? Check it out. No, we absolutely are showing some major booty, but we're doing straight leg deadlift warm-up here. So I had mentioned at the beginning of the video there that we made a little tweak to our straight leg deadlifts, and that is true. What I ended up doing is bringing my legs or my feet in a little bit closer together, and then I'm still sticking with the cue of, as crass as it is, sticking your butthole to the corner of the ceiling and wall behind you, basically, is the cue. Just booty hole to the corner is what I'm thinking. And that it works great, really helps to place the load on the hamstrings and the glutes rather than on the low back, because you can see there's portions of the movement after this weight change. We'll look at this so you can see, like, hold on, once we get in this next rep, we'll look at it together. So hips are moving, they're kind of stalling and back, and then the hips move again. So you can see, like, I get to a sticking point, and then I'm kind of cueing and trying to push it back a little further. But yeah, maybe I should be stopping the movement like here. Although, I mean, I guess that is basically the bottom. I don't know, guys. It's a struggle trying to get in the most correct form on everything, but I am definitely trying to get everything Gucci for me and my anatomy to where it feels really good. So I have, a robust tool set of exercises I can use to pack on that glorious contractile tissue. You know what I mean, guys? It's good stuff. So, straight leg deadlifts. Oh, let's talk about how I'm feeling real quick after this session. Totally jacked up. Honestly, the squats being locked in gave a lot of stimulus to the quads and the glutes and a little bit to the hamstrings. And then these straight leg deadlifts combined with the reverse Nordics, oh, dude, they just decimated my legs. So everything definitely feeling perturbed, and squatting down or bending over to pick stuff up today was something. And before we move on to the reverse Nordics performance on straight leg deadlifts tracked from our last session, so another 12 reps here, although I will say it did feel quite a bit juicier because of the tweaks to our form. So let's move over as I completely collapse the bar down. I'm definitely leaving that in. That was great. So reverse Nordics here. Let's see. How did we perform on those? So we increased the volume here. We added 1 set, so we're doing 3 sets now on reverse Nordics for our leg day. And we got 15, 13, and 10, which is a good showing as far as tracking our progress. Now, I had mentioned as well, made some adjustments here. So number 1 is I'm not using a jacket like I have been. You guys will probably notice watching my videos, I'm very ratchet, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in the most Walmart drip I can get usually. It's just who I am. I've never really been one for flashy things. If someone gets me something nice, I definitely appreciate it. You know what I mean? And if I ever have an opportunity to get something of higher quality, I usually take that opportunity. So, as long as it's something that's, like a tool or something like that, that's going to last. But anyway, we out here being a little more professional, got an actual towel under the ankles today. So that was nice. That helped things feel a little better as far as keeping the ankles or the feet from like sliding around as we, especially in the bottom of the movement. I find that the eccentric bit there, sometimes as you get to the bottom, your toes will either like move off the floor or they'll track in like towards your midline, and it can feel a little weird. You'll actually notice in this set, I'll go ahead and leave it in so you guys can see, I felt a fair amount of pain in my knee when I went down for one of the reps, and it just felt off, so I just waited a minute. I kind of flexed the quad for a second, checked to make sure everything was okay. And then that's when I made this adjustment. And what I did was, when I get into position on this movement, I'm setting up with my knees about shoulder width apart-ish. They usually tend to track out a little further just because it's the most comfortable for my knee and ankles. And then what I'm doing is I'm applying pressure immediately before I even start the exercise. I'm applying pressure from the top of my foot and my ankle. If you look there, even my toes, like that, that bit just past, it's kind of like on your hand. Dang, I wish I could remember the portion from anatomy, but the portion of your hand where when you're lifting you get calluses, right before where your fingers start, essentially. That portion of my feet and my toes, and I try to push down my whole foot as well. I'm like slightly pushing down immediately, and then I go into the rep, and dude, that constant tension absolutely lit my quads on fire. This exercise has become the quad exercise for me. This, and then of course I love goblets, but man, they're just not very fun for the back. So I don't really enjoy my back getting all pumped up and everything, especially like if I do straight legs right before, which is what I was doing before a macro cycle or two ago. Not the best. So now, yes, I already mentioned performance here on the Nordics, 15, 13, 10, and we're tracking, and it was, I feel like this was closer to 1 RR just because we added that little tweak and it felt so good. So really great, really happy with the performance here on the Nordics. Now, before we move into our final set here of reverse Nordics, I want to mention I ended up splitting the dumbbell. I keep writing down dumbbell calf raises. They're barbell calf raises now. I'm not using dumbbells. But the barbell calf raises, I was, after all these fixes, quote unquote, I guess they are technically form fixes, but for me, because what an adjustment for me might feel terrible for someone else, but anyway, that's a separate issue. After all of these little changes that I made, my legs were decimated. I was like totally pumped, out of control. Walking felt funny. Like it was some serious stimulus in the quads, hamstrings, and glutes. And then of course the adductors and abductors and all the little tiny muscles and stuff. Everything was just shot. So what I ended up doing is waiting until 6 hours after. There's no reason specifically why 6 hours. That's just when it was convenient for me to go back out and do a few more sets. I went out and did these calf raises, like I said, 6 hours after this initial training session. So we went ahead with the same load, but like I had mentioned before on our last leg day video, I wasn't that sore, or even on the video of the 19th and the 20th, that push and pull day, I wasn't that sore from the calf raises. And once again, the adjustment we made, even though it was really just one out of convenience and technically a result of the other adjustments, because I was so banged up that I was like, good Lord, we got to move this shit till, later in the day when I've got some juice left in me, or juice back in me, I suppose. So we went ahead and moved them over. So we're warming up here with the bar, and that moving it over allowed me to do these basically not totally fresh, because even doing them, like, I could feel my low back was tired from the straight leg deadlifts, and then my quads and glutes and stuff are all pretty banged up still, but man, it definitely made a difference as far as how much control I felt I had. I feel like now, of course, barring a few reps here and there, you know, I don't know what it is. I guess it's because it's free weights. It would be really nice to have a standing calf raise machine, but the economics of that in a home gym are just not great. Having anything that only does one thing is usually not the best for a home gym setting. But yeah, every now and then the bar gets a little wonkier. I'm holding the weight funny, or it starts to like move down a little bit, and so it just gets a little awkward. Same with my feet, because I'm not locked into a device. I kind of slip and adjust and move as I do the reps, but it is what it is, folks. We got to do what we can to get the stimulus into the legs and grow the muscles, because that's what we're all here to do. So performance on these bad boys. Oh, yeah, no, okay, yes, so I'm remembering now. Even though it was only, 4 hours ago I did these calf raises. I only did 2 sets because performance went down because of how much control I was exerting. Really trying to focus on, it was kind of the same thing as reverse Nordics, where I'm like purposefully keeping tension the entire time on the muscle through the whole part of the movement, like at the bottom, even still just pressing a little bit with the toes, keeping it activated. And dude, I felt like I was walking, like my legs didn't bend or something for a little bit after these, because it was juicy. Calves were definitely pumped up. So man, really great leg day, guys. Really enjoyed it. Tomorrow got a push day coming. Let's see, what changes do we have? Ooh, we got 3 extra sets tomorrow on the first 3 exercises. So 1 extra set for each. I'm not doing 7 sets for each. So we got 4 sets overhead press, 3 sets dumbbell bench, slightly inclined, that is, dumbbell bench, and then 3 sets overhead tricep extension, 2 sets dumbbell flies. So that should be a pretty darn good push workout, guys. We will see how it goes. I've also got it's a pre-workout from Transparent Labs that I'm going to try tomorrow. I think it's like raspberry lemonade is the flavor. And it's a little lower stim, only 180 milligrams of caffeine per scoop, versus the BPN one, Flight, that I'm using right now, has 300 milligrams a scoop, which is like bonkers, especially because I like to have like a cup of coffee or something, at 2 to 4 p.m., something like that, a little pick-me-up is nice. But, if I'm having 300 milligrams in the morning, a cup of coffee is kind of out of the question later. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and throw the stats up, guys, and I will see you beautiful people tomorrow for our push session. I hope y'all have a good one. See ya.